If you've gone through a relationship, a breakup, or a divorce with a dismissive avoidant, you know the tough reality when it comes to what you have to do to try to hold that relationship together. Attempting to walk on eggshells through life, trying not to lose your dismissive avoidant partner, it means that you're going to have to accept there's going to be days of emotional neglect, sadness, and oftentimes feelings of anxiety and desperation. Unfortunately, for a lot of us, what we've come to find out is all of our desperate attempts to hold the relationship together, well, they're futile, and the relationship still unravels in the end. Hello, friends. My name is Maria, and I know right now it might seem like all the love and energy and time you've poured into your dismissive avoidant partner, well, it all went to waste. A lot of times after we come out on the other end of a breakup with someone who's done nothing but minimize and dismiss us, it feels like there was no upside. What was it all for? But you might be missing one of the biggest lessons that dismissive avoidance taught me that took my relationships to a whole new level. So if you're ready to learn the number one lesson I have taken away from a past littered with avoidant exes, then grab a bottle of nail polish and let's talk. I want to take one moment to thank all of you watching the video right now who, you're watching the videos, you're supporting the channel, you are brave enough to comment on your particular scenario down below. I know that's not easy to open up a lot of times. This channel is almost at 2,000 subscribers from where we started a little over a year ago. I wanted to let you know, for those of you who are interested, I am going to be offering memberships. The bi-weekly videos will be going more in depth into you personally, your specific relationship questions that you're going to get a chance to ask in the community posts. If you would like a sample of what the videos will be like, I did a video like this about a month ago where I went through and I answered a couple of guys' questions about, ex-avoidant girlfriends that were breadcrumbing them. And like last week's video, I had a viewer ask, how do you know when it's okay to move in with someone? These are more specific viewer questions, and I'll put a link to those videos down below so you can get an example of the kind of content you'll be receiving if you decide that you want to go for the membership. But regardless of whether or not you choose to be a member, I still really appreciate you watching these regular weekly videos, and I do hope they help you because breakups suck. And it's rough to go through something with an avoidant partner where you can clearly see the potential of the relationship. But your dismissive avoidant also showed you the potential of the relationship, and that's the most insidious part about it. In the beginning, they were so attentive. They acted like they cared when you were hurt. And let's face it, for a lot of us, it was the best physical chemistry that we've ever experienced. Your avoidant was showing you what they were capable of, and they were showing you the person that they have the potential to show up as. Your relationship appeared to be what you've always wanted until the day that your avoidant just decided to stop doing all of those thoughtful actions. And make no mistake, they were making a choice. People like dating coaches will try to convince you that avoidance, because of some kind of trauma, they just can't help their actions. They can't help what they're doing. But if that's true, how come they weren't stonewalling you in the beginning of the relationship? Because they were making a choice not to. Just like they are now making a choice to ignore you. They pick and choose which texts they're gonna send back to you. You can't convince me that avoidants just can't help themselves when it comes to the bad behavior, because that would mean they couldn't help themselves when it comes to the loving and thoughtful behavior. One can't be true without the other being true. They either have control of their actions or they don't. And trust me, we all have control of our actions. Now, I do believe that because avoidants avoid tough subjects, they might not know anything about attachment styles. They might not even realize that they're an avoidant. However, that does not negate the fact that the behavior they're choosing is a choice. They choose to give you outrageous bedroom fun, and then they choose to completely withhold it and make you crave them. They choose to be supportive of your feelings in the beginning, and then they choose when they're going to ignore you when your feelings are hurt. And yeah, they choose to begin orbiting and breadcrumbing you again the moment it feels like you're ready to stop taking their crap and move on. It might seem like I'm picking on avoidance, but there is one big thing that I have learned from them, and it's arguably one of my most important life lessons, and that is we, you and me, in this life, we don't have to do anything. Now, I know that seems simplistic, but trust me, as a recovering codependent, people-pleasing pushover, once this message finally sunk in, it changed my life for the better. We don't have to do anything. And this is one lesson that all of those talking head relationship coaches do not want you to learn. And I want to give you guys a small example of the kind of toxic mindset that these channels promote. It was a really concerning comment I read where someone was making the comment that no contact doesn't end when you decide no contact ends. No contact ends when the dismissive avoidant reaches out. They get to decide when no contact ends. I'll go ahead and read the comment.
The first part mentions coaches by name, so I won't read that, but then the commenter says, there is no artificial time frame for no contact to end. It ends when the dismissive decides to come back.
These kind of channels reinforce the thinking that you have to give up all of your power. And I'm really sorry if you've gotten sucked into this, but I would like to take a moment and set the record straight. No contact does not end just because your avoidant ex decides. They don't get to decide anything when it comes to your life because they made the decision for themselves that they were no longer going to be an active participant. So they no longer get a vote. Everyone enables this idea that avoidants are the only people on the planet that get to make all of their own decisions and ride off into the sunset doing whatever they want. Well, guess what? You do too. Just because they send you a text does not mean you have to text them back. I mean, if you think about it, your ex certainly never felt like they ever had to text you back if they didn't feel like it. Well, you don't have to either. I'd like to take a moment and just play a really small clip to show you the language that's used in these videos that reinforces the mindset that avoidants do whatever they want and you have some strange set of rules that you have to follow.
Listen to you more. The big problem is that every time you do one mistake, you kind of restart to zero. Every time you do a mistake in the process of getting back with someone, you're restarting from zero. So it's not easy emotionally. It's not what you want to do, but we have no choice here, okay? So if you really want to get your ex back, you need to understand the rules of the reattraction.
Really take into consideration the kind of words they're using. You don't have a choice. That's not true. And by the way, when it comes to reattracting your ex, welcome to the other half, where we know attraction is not just about looks. We also have to take care of the inner half, because if we walk around life feeling completely powerless and thinking that we don't have autonomy of selves, we're not going to be attractive to anybody, including your ex. This whole idea that avoidants get to do whatever they want and anxious people have to, follow steps and rules in order to keep them happy, it's utterly ridiculous. But, it's a big problem for these coaches the day that you finally realize that you don't have to do a damn thing when it comes to your ex. Because gosh, if you ever found out that you were more powerful than you gave yourself credit for, it might hurt their pocketbook. Because people who have truly transformed themselves do not beg, chase, write letters, or send happy birthday text messages to their abusers. You don't do these things because you don't mess with them anymore. You don't care what they think. You just walk away. You get busy building a life that makes you happy, and you don't pay ex-back coaches to try to help you get an abusive ex back. That's what all these coaches are afraid of. That's why they want you to stay in contact with your ex every 21 days, every 30 days, every 45 days, because it keeps you feeling rejected and it keeps you in a vulnerable mindset. You get emotionally stronger, they don't get paid. And you know who else doesn't get any more little payoffs the day that you decide to start living your life for you? Your ex. There are avoidants that may have a few narcissistic tendencies that aren't gonna like it the day that you decide they aren't the only ones who get to have boundaries. You do too. But to me, that just sounds like it's their problem. Just like you couldn't stop them from leaving, well, guess what? They don't get to stop you from moving forward without them. And yeah, maybe some of your exes aren't gonna like it when you finally decide you don't have to answer their pathetic, indirect, direct breadcrumb texts, but they're not the only ones that get to do whatever they want. You do too. No one person has the power to pick and choose who the rules of life apply to. They apply to everybody. You make decisions, you have to accept consequences. Your avoidant partner wants to blow up your life, well then they're going to have to accept that you just might not want to wish them happy holidays anymore. And you know, this power when you know that you really don't have to do anything, like you don't have to answer back toxic people that are emotionally abusing and neglecting you. I mean, this knowledge also goes for how you live your life every single day. If you're going through a breakup right now and you're having a hard time getting out of bed, just know that you don't have to stay in bed all day. You don't have to give this person the power to just destroy your weekend. You don't have to sit on the couch miserable and going on your ex's social media page, and it only makes you feel bad about yourself. You do not have to do these things. I know it's really hard, but you have the choice to live your life any way that you want. And maybe that's the real message that you've needed to hear for a long time. It's not always about other people. You know, you matter too. Your existence, your wisdom, your presence, you are valuable. Maybe not to some people, but definitely to the right people. You can choose to be anyone you want to be today. You know, be someone fierce, be someone kind, be someone who knows that they do not have to give the very best of themselves to anyone who doesn't deserve it. And go ahead and create your very own reality. If this video helped you, so will this one. My name is Maria Adriana. You did not have to live my life, but I certainly hope you can learn something from it. As always, thank you for visiting The Other Half.